G'day, Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again. Welcome to another video. This time we're getting into Cape York. That's right, the Cape York season is about to begin. So stick around. We'll drive you through what you're going to expect for this year. Talk a little bit about some of the conditions and some of the changes that have happened that you might need to know about. Well, we couldn't go without checking this out.
Right, preparing it fires now. Great Keithy here.
Alright, so the 2022 season's upon us now. If you haven't booked already and you're keen on going to Cape York for this year, I suggest you get in now because things are hot. 2022, big year up at Cape York. So first thing I want to touch on, I just called Ken up at the Bramwell Station, had a bit of a chat to him about what's going on for them this year. So if you don't know, Bramwell Station last year, about in August, was bought back by the government from the owners. So now the Department of Environment and Science, I believe, actually own the Bramwell Station. I had a bit of a chat to him today to ask about what's happening for them this year, and he said they're firing on all cylinders. They're all go. So if you want to go and camp at Bramwell Station, they're very busy. They're actually filling up very quickly. So if you're going to book, you need to book now to get yourself a night there on your way up to the tip. I highly recommend it. I do every time I go through there. I give a bit of a handshake to Ken on my way through up past the Tele Track and all of that kind of stuff. So Bramwell Station, first one down, guys. They are still operating if you wanted to stay there on your way to Cape York. So after booking in with Ken up at Bramwell Station there, when they open up in May, to make sure you've got your spot, you're going to be wanting to know what the rest of the roads around the Cape York area are doing for this season so far and looking forward. So right now, a lot of the roads are actually closed, funny enough, but what we'll do, we'll start down where the bitumen ends at Laura there. So Maytown and the Old Coach Road, it's a bit of a hit. Not everyone does the Maytown Old Coach Road run when they do their Cape York trip. If you haven't done it, I do recommend it, but make sure that you're well prepared. Don't take a trailer on there because that track is definitely too much for a trailer. Not recommended. It actually says that if you go and do your bit of homework on Maytown and the Old Coach Road, it lists there that it's not trailer worthy track, so do not do that. I have seen many people take trailers on there and it doesn't come out well at the other end. It's definitely difficult, it's definitely hard, and it's going to test anyone's capabilities. If you do decide to do Maytown and the Old Coach Road, at the moment all of the roads into Maytown and the Old Coach Road are actually shut, funny enough, on the southern side. So that's the Palmerville Road and etc, down that side. So you're probably not going to get in there at the moment. There's a bit too much water going on. The Old Coach Road in Maytown itself is open if you can get there, but you're not going to be able to get to that from the southern side. You're going to have to see if the roads on the northern side are open if you want to go in and visit that. So you would have to come in from Laura to get into there. So if you wanted to come up via Isabella Falls from Cooktown, you're going to need to take Battle Camp Road, and unfortunately at the moment Battle Camp Road is also closed from Cooktown, from Isabella Falls essentially up to the northern side of Laura where you can go into Lakefield National Park. The road is closed. You're going to find that Lakefield National Park is actually closed at the moment as well. They've got a lot of road repairs they need to do after the wet season. They get quite a lot of rain through there and it's still too wet at the moment for them to finish that roadworks. So that'll be ongoing. Keep your eyes out for those roads to open if you did want to go up through Lakefield, maybe stay at Cow Power or something along your way through there. There's a number of camping grounds you can stay at. If you look on the government website, that'll show you a list of all of those. So if you're going to take the development road up through Laura all the way to Cowan, and then from Cowan further up through Archer River and all the way to Weeper, you'll find that there's quite a lot of roadworks still going on at the moment. That's going to be the start of the season roadworks, and a lot of the repairs happening from the wet season. Happens every year. There's a number of spots along the way, all the way from Laura to Weeper, where you'll find that there are load limits, 5-tonne load limits on some of the areas. So if you've got yourself a really big caravan and a heavy four-wheel drive, you're going to have trouble getting through a few of those at the moment. Later in the season, sort of around that May to June, you'll find that eases up a lot. They still do roadworks, but they don't have those 5-tonne limits on a lot of those roads there because the wet season does take its toll on all of the roads up in Cape York. With that in mind, one of the questions that I get asked every year about the Cape York roads and how they are, one thing that never changes is that road on the southern side of the Archer River Roadhouse. Usually the 30 or 40 odd kilometres before that is in pretty bad condition. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. There are a number of crossings and some areas of that road that are just renowned for breaking down. So take care when you're getting close to the Archie River Roadhouse, doesn't matter what time of year it is, you're generally going to find something wrong with the road there. Take it easy and make sure you watch out for the trucks and all the other drivers on the road. Take care, and it's not a rush. Another hot spot for roads that are a little bit rough every now and then is the bypass around the telegraph track. So if you're not doing the tele track, generally take your time, drop the speeds a little bit. There's going to be a lot of traffic on the road this year. 2022 is looking like the biggest season we're going to see for a very long time up in Cape York. So make sure you... A bit by an ant. So another rough hotspot in Cape York is the Telegraph Bypass Road. It's called the Telegraph Road. It goes around the tele track essentially. So if you've got your big van on or anything like that, you're not going to want to do the tele track with your van. You'll take the bypass road if you're going to get to the Jardine Ferry and obviously get over and see the tip of Cape York, go up to Pajinka, stay at all of the beautiful spots up there and see everything they've got to offer. The bypass road around the tele track is generally in bad condition. It's never going to be completely graded the whole way, and you're not going to come across corrugations. So take your time, take care. Don't forget, when you come across the corrugations, no matter where on the old Telegraph bypass or on the development road for that matter, drop your speeds for the traffic, because no one wants anyone coming at them at 100 kilometres an hour, swerving left and right to try and avoid potholes. So make sure that you take care along that road there. So one of the big questions I get is, how's the tele track? How is it this year? Well, last year it was the worst I've ever seen it in terms of difficulty. It even pulled me up. I'll show you a little snippet there. So last year was the worst I've ever seen the tele track. It's degrading, it needs a lot of work, and that's something that doesn't happen on the tele track because you can't get all the tools and gear in there rather easily. If you're going to do the tele track this year, I'd recommend waiting till a little bit later in the season, maybe July onwards, if you don't like water, because all of those crossings at the moment are very deep and they're going to remain that way for some time. If any of the other roads are anything to go by, the water's sitting around this year. So 2022, hardest year ever on the tele track. I'm putting it down now, and I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of people too. So if you want to go up there and have the place to yourself, you're going to want to go up there outside of the school holidays, maybe 2 or 3 weeks either side of that, because the school holidays are a very popular time for the tele track. With that said, what do you watch on the tele track? What are the hotspots? Well, Palm Creek, the first one you come across, is definitely something to take a look at. Now, if you're not interested in doing the entire tele track and you just want to see what it's about, you can come up from the Bramwell Roadhouse there and get to Palm Creek without having to do anything too difficult. If you just want to see what it's all about, see what Palm Creek looks like, and then turn around, go back out and take your merry way, whichever direction you want to head. You'll find that generally there are people hanging around at Palm Creek, so there's going to be some action. If you just hang around for an hour or two, if that's all you've got, you'll find something going on. You'll be able to have a bit of a walk around and see what that crossing's all about. Likewise, if you had a bit of time on your hands, you could come in from the northern side and go to Nolan's Brook and see what that's all about as well. You could take the road in from the north side, come down and have a bit of a look there. It's a bit difficult to get into Nolan's Brook to camp if you are not coming from the southern side, but it is what it is. If you just want to have a bit of a gander, that's okay. Take care, take your time, and remember, most of the cars go south to north on the tele track. So if you're coming north to south, you're going to find you'll come across a lot of traffic. And the last track, talking about tracks here, is the Frenchman's track. That one is another one you're going to have to wait a little bit later in the season, because both the big crossings there, the Wenlock and the Pasco, are going to be full of water at the moment. You're not going to get across the Pasco for love nor money unless you've got winches on the other side waiting for you. The old Pasco River is very deep, and it's the kind of crossing that you have to take really slow. So if you haven't done it before, I don't recommend going on your own. I recommend going with a team of people and some winches, because it's going to be a big year for the Frenchman's track as well. I recommend doing it. You can do it in a day easily, but those two crossings are something to watch out for. So if you're going on your own, take care and make sure that someone is around if you're going to cross, especially the Pasco River, just in case something goes wrong and you need a hand to get out of it. So what's it looking like right now? Well, like I said, the roads, they need a little bit of work, and that's going to go on for at least the next month. There'll be more road works going on there. It's just continuous throughout the season anyway. Once you get north of the Jardine Ferry, you're in the heart of Cape York. Don't forget to support the locals. Go through, grab a couple of t-shirts, go and buy a pie from the pie shop. Make sure you support them with the fuel as well. You don't need to take 10 jerry cans to get to Cape York. In fact, I've never taken a jerry can and had to use it on any of my Cape York trips. Even when I towed a trailer last year, I didn't touch the jerry cans. So support the locals, guys. I know fuel's a little bit more expensive up there than what you'll find in the cities, but that keeps these local businesses going. Same when you buy a meat pie from the pie shop in Bamaga there. Same applies when you chuck your camping fees in, wherever you're camping up north of the Jardine River. Supports the locals, keeps things open for us, and it means you can go and touch that sign up the top of the tip and make your way home safe and sound. I've had heaps of emails, messages, etc., over on both the Chilling with Keithy and here, and on Scenic 4x4, funny enough. This year is going to be a great year, so if you're looking to get up to Cape York this year, make sure you start planning now. Make sure you get your bookings in, because everyone is booking. It's going to be a big year. Like I said, I was talking to Ken up at the Bramwell Station, and he said they're filling up super quick. They've got nearly no spots already for the first couple of months. So planning now, get into it, make your bookings now before everyone gets in, and make sure you enjoy your time. Take it easy, take it steady. It's not a race to get up to Cape York. Take your time, look after yourself, look after your family, and don't forget to say good day. Enjoy your trip. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.